making $50,000 a month right now, right? They have to become the type of person that makes $50,000 a month. They have to become the type of person that makes $20,000 a month. They have to become the type of person that makes $75,000 a month, $100,000 a month. They have to become that person. And most people think that they're going to create a new reality without them becoming new as well. And it just doesn't happen. It doesn't matter which softwares you buy. It doesn't matter which coaching program you join, which course you buy, which event you go to, which podcast you listen to. If you're not willing to grow and become a new person, you can forget about it, because business will swallow you whole. If you're not willing to grow, your business will rarely outgrow you meaning your personal growth. And if it does outgrow you, it'll be short-lived anyway. You won't be able to maintain it. If it outgrows you, which it most likely won't. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. So being that said, I see a lot of ads on social media and things like that. So why is ad the best way to market your company and to get the client? Why is that the number one way or the ideal way to do that?
So I think it's the best way because you want to be in a place where you can get an unlimited amount of leads. And the fastest way to get an unlimited amount of leads is with paid advertising, because I think creating content is great. Doing podcasts is great. Posting on your social media is great, but it's not really scalable. With paid advertising, you can get in front of a limited amount of people. And one of my mentors said this years ago, and it makes total sense now, is that if you're not able to profitably invest into, if you can't profitably buy new clients, you really don't have a business. So you want to have a system in place where you can put a certain amount of money into advertising and you get more than you put in. And as long as you can do that, you can consistently scale a business. But if you're totally just reliant on, just like outbound content, stuff that's not scalable, it's going to be really hard to scale the business at the rate you want to scale it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. So that leads to my next question. How much would you say someone should have in their budget, in terms of marketing? Being in fact, that's a big thing. The more people you get, the more leads you get, the more profitable business you can get.
I would say personally, as much as possible. I would literally say as much as possible, because that's what's going to drive the revenue. So a lot of times people try to look at what's the least amount they can spend, but in reality, you want to ask yourself, okay, what's the most that I can spend? What's the most that I can spend?
Okay.
Does it make sense? So just look at where you are, because I think it's different for everybody. So just kind of take an assessment of where you are, and then just make the best decision based on like where you are in that particular season, and then just start from there. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Because I wanted to add, because you're saying, yes, as they do reach a larger audience compared to just creating content. But as a new entrepreneur, how can one still take advantage of running ads, but with a, not so much of a large income or so much money, in disposal?
So, I mean, to be honest with you, it doesn't take a large amount. So I think that's a misnomer, that a lot of people think that it takes a large amount of money to advertise. You can literally get started with Facebook ads as little as $5 a day, $10 a day, right? The more you're willing to spend, the faster you can get results. So for example, let's say somebody has a $300 per month budget. So that's $10 a day.
Yeah.
Most people will just spend $10 a day for 30 days. And I get it. What I'd advise them to do is spend that $300 in a week, because now they can get data way faster. So let's say, for example, I got a $300 a day, I got a $300 per month budget, and you got a $300 per month budget. And you take 30 days to spend yours, but I take a week to spend mine. Who you think gonna win? And we're in the same niche, the whole thing. Who you think gonna win?
You, because you get the information quicker than I do.
Because I get the information quicker than you. It's gonna take you 3 more weeks to get as much information as I got in a week, so I can make decisions faster. So if this campaign don't work, I can find out a lot faster and I can make some adjustments. It's gonna take you a little more time because you got to get enough data first.
No, you're right. Yeah, 100. Yeah, definitely 100% right.
Mhm.
Point. So I have a question because I see with marketing, um, I'm sure is there psychology behind the pricing that people have because when you're going through the process of bringing people through the funnel, is there a reason why certain ads it's like $97? That's what
Mhm.
the up the up the upscale is, or it's 397,
Yeah.
497. Is there a psychology behind that? Why those are the prices you usually see when people usually run ads? There's always something with a 9 or 7.
Yeah, there is because it's like 97, it's not quite 100, but then it really is. But if the biggest thing is like people, when people hear somebody say something a whole bunch of times, everybody kind of start assuming that it's true, right? What we do, we don't even recommend doing like low ticket offers. We teach specifically higher ticket offers. So 3,000. So we teach all of our clients to charge 3,000 to $10,000 or more for multiple reasons. Number one, if you're selling something for $97, most people aren't going to log into it. Most people aren't going to implement it. Most people aren't going to get any results. So do you really want to serve people? If you really want to serve people, you got to charge them a premium price so they have enough invested in the game to actually go through it and implement it, right? So that's the biggest thing. Most people say, hey, charge $47, then upsell them for $19.97, then upsell them for $4.97, then upsell them for $9.97, then upsell them for $2.90. I mean, for 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, or whatever. But they know that the $5,000 thing is the thing that's really going to get people results. So if you know that the $5,000 thing is really going to get people results and not the $47 ebook, why would you even sell the ebook? That's, in my opinion, that's not in integrity, right? I would go straight into the thing that's going to actually get them results versus selling them low ticket stuff. So that's why we teach just high ticket, high touch, high transformation.
That makes sense. So being that said, I can only imagine, yes, you take people to the funnel, yes, you sell them a high ticket, but you yourself have to have your business structure, have this courses or whatever you're trying to sell, right? So how important is that before someone goes through this process of trying to get the ideal client, making sure they have the different structures in place?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, depending on where you are in your business. So in the earlier phases of your business, the number one thing you focus on is sales. So you get your first few sales. Like if you haven't got your first 10 sales, that's all you should be focused on. You shouldn't be focused on building out websites. You shouldn't be focused on building a members area. You shouldn't be focused on graph, none of that type of stuff, right? You should be focused on getting your first 10 clients and then serving those individuals. And then once you service those individuals, now you can start automating the fulfillment, automating all different type of stuff. But until you get those first 10 clients that you actually serve, I wouldn't be focused on anything else.
Wow. That's the first time I heard that. Why do you say they shouldn't focus on website or graphic and just focus on getting clients?
Because a lot of people have nice websites, they got nice social medias, they got nice edited videos, they got logos, they got business cards, but they don't got no clients. Like, who cares? Like, you don't have a business until you make sales. Like, you may have an LLC set up, you may have a business, a bank account, but like, if you ain't making no sales, you don't have a business.